Hello, everyone, and welcome to EVTN News. I'm starting out a little late because I just got some breaking news. Um, I'll get to that at the end. So we're gonna start out the pillar, and I don't mean to promote the pillar all the time. Yeah, I mean some of their opinions are not good, but their articles where they do some research, they can be interesting. So with the pillar, they had some interesting information about population in regards to each diocese. It said the article basically said like which dioceses may face mergers. So that was sort of the whole point of the article. But if you like maps, you can see like a statistical analysis of the population of each diocese. And a few people in the comments question the numbers, but take a look, see if your diocese see what your diocese looks like, and you can see the population changes of other dioceses over the years. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I just wanted to share that with you. Now, if you're a cardinal and looking to travel to Rome, there is a new rescript. I remember the last rescript banned the Latin Mass from parish churches, or so they said. But the newest one said that Pope Francis said everyone needs to make an extraordinary sacrifice to meet the Vatican's growing commitments to the needy, which means they're in financial trouble. He's therefore not the needy, the Vatican. The Vatican really, they're not really needy. He's therefore abolished Vatican housing discounts for cardinals, bishops, etc., requiring them to pay market prices. So, if as if to discourage them even more from going to Rome. Unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, Rome just doesn't seem like an exciting place to visit. Like there are many Catholic places, and Rome just doesn't seem. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like an ideal place to visit. All right, we're getting to some big news. Bishop Paprocki. He implied that Cardinal McElroy is a heretic. So I'll read this to you. Let me know what you think. He said, imagine if a cardinal of the Catholic Church were to publish an article in which he condemned a theology of Eucharistic coherence that multiplies barriers to the grace and gift of the Eucharist and stated that unworthiness cannot be a prism of accompaniment for disciples of the God of grace and mercy. Or what if a cardinal of the Catholic Church were to state publicly that LMNOP acts are not sinful and LMNOP unions should be blessed by the Church, which McElroy did? Paprocki says, until recently, it would be hard to imagine any successor of the apostles making such heterodox statements. How recent? In the last 50 years? So, a lot of the time, Paprocki's been alive. Unfortunately, it is not uncommon today to hear Catholic leaders affirm unorthodox views that not too long ago would have been espoused only by heretics. Heretic and heresy are strong words, which contemporary ecclesiastical politeness has softened to gentler expressions such as our separated brethren or the Christian faithful who are not in full communion with the Catholic Church. But the reality is that those who are separated and not in full communion are separated and not in full communion because they reject essential truths of the faith which was once for all delivered to the saints. Thus, it is deeply troubling to consider the possibility that prelates holding the office of diocesan bishop in the Catholic Church may be separated or not in full communion because of heresy. So he's calling Cardinal McElroy a heretic. In regards to a cardinal promoting LMNOP activity, Paprocki says, thus a cardinal of the Catholic Church, like any other Catholic who denies settled Catholic teaching, embraces heresy, the result of which is automatic excommunication from the Catholic Church. So we believe that. He said only the Pope can remove a cardinal from office or dismiss him from the clerical state in the case of heresy or other grave crimes. If he does not do so, the unseemly prospect arises of a cardinal excommunicated late sententiae due to heresy voting in a papal conclave. So he's saying a future papal conclave could be problematic because of heretics voting in it. Well, let's think about that for a minute. What about the conclave that elected Benedict? Cardinal Martini, along with many others of the St. Gallen Mafia, voted in that conclave. They had the same views as McElroy. Very similar views. Bergoglio voted in a papal conclave. What about, didn't McCarrick have heretical views? I mean, half of the cardinals JP2 appointed were awful. They were rotten and compromised. So what's he saying? Is he saying that all these people are here? What about his fellow bishops? So McElroy, okay, fellow USDCB. So he's basically saying that any cardinal or bishop who says that sinners, those in public mortal sin, should not be denied the Eucharist is a heretic. I believe that's what he's implying here. Well, how many bishops signed the letter written by Cardinal Supich saying that Biden should not be denied communion? So using this logic, they're all heretics. Call them out at the USCCB meeting in public. I want to see it. None of this closed doors stuff about unity. This is it. And any bishop who has any intention of being Catholic needs to stand behind Paprocki in this, needs to back him up. There's no excuse for being a passive bishop, faithless. Stop the nonsense. Alright, LMNOP blessings. Bishop Dieser of Germany defended the fact that one of his pastors had recently blessed an LMNOP couple in a church, thus imitating a marriage ceremony. Dieser explained that it is up to the individual decision of the conscience of a pastor whether or not he wishes to give such a blessing. So there you go. I mean, that's typical for what you'd expect from some of the German bishops. Now, on Twitter, someone commented and said there is a parish in Buffalo, New York, St. Joseph University, where LMNOP couples receive blessings. This is more common than we realize. Happening under your own nose. Any parishes near you that give LMNOP couples blessings? It's really a political stunt. And they're not Catholic. You can't go to that parish. I looked up this parish, and the crucifix is not really a crucifix. It's kind of weird and what you'd expect from some modernist anti-Catholic church. Sect. That's what you'd call it. All right, in Mexico, San Cristobal Bishop Rodrigo Aguilar Martinez, and since he's from southern Mexico, he plans to incorporate pagan Mayan rites into the Novus Order. That's right, the Mayans. Were they the ones that built Machu Picchu? The Mayans. No, is that the Incas? That's the Incas. The Mayans they built some of those pagan temples though, that are still standing today. They're popular tourist attractions. Sorry, people are going to slam me in the comments probably for for that mistake, but I don't know. I don't know the pagan, cannibals, or they weren't cannibals, but they were heathens, savages, whatever. I don't know. I mean, church history is more interesting to me than savages killing each other. The general rule is that when such plans are made public, So he plans to incorporate the Mayan rites into the Novus Ordo. Uh, when such plans are made public, the abuses in question have long since been introduced. In fact, Martinez admitted that the paganization is already being practiced in two Mayan languages. An official proposal will include pagan dance, music, and participation of women. It will be presented to the Mexican bishops in April and to the Vatican in May. The Mayan rite will be an adaptation similar to the Congolese rite from Congo in Africa, which incorporates elements of African culture. The faithful are expressing their views on such games by joining Protestant groups. So, but if you look at Vatican II, these Novus Ordo conservatives, they say, oh, well, you have to read Vatican II as it was intended. Okay, well, Vatican II says that the liturgy should be enculturated. Sacrosanctum Concilium. I don't have the exact quote of it, but it says that the liturgy should be adapted to the cultures. And so how is this not faithful to Sacrosanctum Concilium? And again, that's why we're going back to Vatican II, like circling back again and saying there's no way you can interpret it a specific way. You have to interpret it. I mean, it's up to everyone. How does it make you feel? That's all. That's the key to Vatican II. How does it make you feel? And the same with basic Catholic principles. So thousands gathered Friday for the funeral of slain Los Angeles Auxiliary Bishop David O'Connell, who was remembered as a friend of Jesus Christ and the poor. Archbishop Jose Gomez presided over the funeral held at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels in Los Angeles. Speaking briefly at the conclusion of the liturgy, Gomez said, Bishop Dave, as O'Connell was affectionately known, would be sorely missed, but here's the quote, we know that he's in heaven. So, since when did the bishop receive permission to canonize someone? We're abandoning the basic principles of the faith. And Gomez is part of the problem. What has Gomez done about Mahoney? He said, oh, Cardinal Mahoney, I don't want you to make public appearances. And Mahoney said, no. And Gomez said, oh, okay. What has Gomez done to clean up the LMNOP priests in Los Angeles? What has Gomez done to help the faith? Serious question. I don't mean to be mean about it. That's a question we've got to ask. Now he's canonizing someone. People do it all the time, though. This is the new Pentecost. Everyone goes to heaven. There's a reasonable hope, right? All right, so Bishop Glenn John Provost of Lake Charles, Louisiana, released a statement. It's a long one, and I'll just read you a little bit from what he had to say. He said, over the last few years, I have become increasingly aware of the concerns and puzzlement of Catholic Christians concerning Catholic teaching. Most of this confusion is generated by, but not confined to, exposure to the media and ambiguous statements by some clergy who deviate from the truth. Isn't that the truth? For any of us who love the Church and the authentic teachings of Jesus Christ as found in the sacred scriptures and sacred tradition, this is disconcerting that the Catholic faithful are being misled or sense a lack of clarity in fundamentals of doctrine such as the Eucharistic presence, what constitutes worthiness in the reception of Holy Communion, the indissolubility of sacramental marriage, the very definition of matrimony itself, the existence of hell, the nature of sin, the consequences of moral choice, and the authority of sacred scriptures is distressing to me as a bishop and should be to any pastor, catechetical instructor, or Catholic parent. As a pastor many years, I am profoundly disturbed when statements of the faithful are made by those who hold a in the Church. In moments such as these in our history, we must courageously live by the truth as revealed by God in Jesus Christ and taught by His Church down through the centuries. The truths of our faith, our most prized possession, we cannot dismiss them or view them as a human invention subject to revision. We should approach them with respect and reverence as having come from the font of divine revelation. So, I don't think there was a whole lot there that was said that you didn't already know, but Bishop is kind of throwing his name out there. So that's good. Lake Charles, Louisiana, Bishop Glenn John Provost. Good. Now you can get the truths of the Catholic faith, usually not at a Novus Ordo parish. You can get the truths of the Catholic faith from a Latin Mass priest. Okay. Oh, more to McElroy. McElroy responded to Paprocki's criticism. He said, okay, he characterized the moral tradition in the Church that all sexual sins are a grave matter as a 17th century innovation that is jarringly inconsistent with the larger universe of Catholic moral teaching. He said, in principle, all sexual sins are objective mortal sins within the Catholic moral tradition. This means that all sins that violate the 6th and 9th commandments are categorically objective mortal sins. So it is precisely this change in Catholic doctrine made in the 17th century that is the foundation for categorically barring LMNOP and divorced remarried Catholics from the Eucharist. I don't know what he's trying to say that sins against the 6th and 9th commandment are not mortal sins all the time. That's dumb. Okay, so, there was a king who had the same views as McElroy. His name was King Henry VIII, and he founded his own religion. McElroy, you're better suited for a different religion because you've rejected the Catholic faith. Maybe you can be a saint in the Anglican Church, McElroy. They'll take you. They have your utopia. They have the feminist women bishops. You might not be a bishop. You might not even be appointed a bishop in the Anglican Church because you're not a woman. But feel free to join it. I'm sure they're taking new members. I'm sure that they're not getting very many members, and they'd be happy to have you. Okay, in the breaking news, late breaking news. Actually, 5 minutes? I saw this 5 minutes before I started this video. Steubenville Bishop Jeffrey Montfortin has banned the traditional Latin Mass from being celebrated on the campus of Franciscan University of Steubenville, where it was celebrated monthly. As of now, it is still allowed at a nearby parish. Soon to be changed. Sorry. I hope to do another video later in the week, but we'll see how I'm feeling. I mean, I've been okay today, but, every once in a while, you get sick. This doesn't make me feel any better. So the students show up, but ban their Mass. Forget about them. We need to accompany them into unity with the new church, with the new theology. Steubenville Bishop, his priests don't like him. And now he's given the lay people a lot of reasons to not like him. Montfortin, he was going to request a merger with a different diocese, with another diocese. Steubenville to merge with the Diocese of Columbus. And that fell through because there was something, was there an allegation against him? I don't know. I don't remember. But he just doesn't seem like a good bishop. And you'll see, there's a lot of bishops that aren't good bishops. Coming up, they're going to be banning stuff. But got to work around the bishops. got to work around the diocese. That's just what it comes down to. I'll grab a tissue real quick. To the comments. Alright. Paprocki thing got where the Pachamama is. Got the where Pachamama is people super mad on Twitter. Yeah, because they hate the Catholic faith. The sad part about claiming someone is in heaven is that they could be the most abandoned soul in purgatory. Well, here's the thing. If you are watching the John the Son of Thunder program, EVTN News, then say a prayer for Bishop O'Connell, because you know that a lot of people are not praying for his soul. So pray for his soul, because other people are not. The left says that the Paprocki comments are really just a disguised attack on the Pope because the issue is similar to the Amoris Laetitia footnote issue. Good! If it is an attack on the Pope, then take it. I think they have a point there, because communion for unconfessed sexual sins logically follows from communion for remarried. Okay. Alright, well, that's all I have for you today. I got some reading to do, and I hope to do some book reviews coming up. I read a really good one by Father Mark Goring. That's going to be kind of a, what should I say, like a, not a spoiler, but stay tuned. When I get it recorded, I'll post it. That's just what it's going to come down to. But yeah, and then also, what else? I'm reading a few other things too. Good stuff. Lent is the time for reading, the time for prayer. So, you know, allow that. And if you haven't, if you haven't done a whole lot for Lent, now's a good time to start, because we still have a month. What day is it? The 6th. Oh yeah, we still have a little over a month of Lent remaining. Plenty of time to add another penance, add more prayers to your Lenten to make your Lent better, I guess. And I'm really hopeful at some point that I can get to a Byzantine All Souls Saturday. So in the Byzantine rite, they have All Souls Saturdays, and I really like All Souls Day. And so the All Souls Saturdays is almost like a cheat code for me. I can go to these liturgies and pray for the Holy Souls more than one day a year. I mean, you can do that any day, but the All Souls Day on the Roman Rite is dedicated specifically for the Holy Souls, and in the Byzantine Rite you have a bunch of them. So for me, double dipping, I can go to that much more often. So anyway, a little bit of a side note there, but this has been EVTN News. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we are the laity, and we will not be silent.